We're given a fraction here with radicals in it and asked to simplify this. All right. Um, Now, when you're simplifying radicals, what you're trying to do is factor out any perfect squares. These are numbers that when you take the square root of them, it comes out to a whole number, comes out to a rational number. All the other numbers in between these, when you take the square root of them, you get an irrational number or a very long decimal. So these are really nice numbers to take square roots of because you get a whole number. All right. Now, how did I come up with these? Well, all I did was take the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on and square them. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. You get the idea. That's how I came up with this list. And I encourage my students to write these down on the top of their paper so that they don't have to think about them when they're doing questions involving radicals. They can just look up and see these numbers. And so in a second, I'm going to show you exactly how we use these. All right, so to simplify this, when I have a radical divided by radical, the first thing I like to do is see if I can divide these. So can I divide 160 by 5 and have it come out to a nice whole number? If I can't, then I would just simplify each of these radicals individually. But if I take 160 divided by 5, it does come out to a nice number. It comes out to 32. So I'm going to simplify this to 32. So this comes out to the square root of 32. And again, I just did 160 divided by 5. And you can do that as long as they're both under the radical. All right, so now back to my perfect squares. I want to see if any of these perfect squares are a factor of 32. And in fact, if there's more than one, I want to find the biggest perfect square that's a factor of 32. So I look through my numbers here. I have 4, that'll go into 32. 4 times 8, 9, 16, that'll go in. And all the rest of these are too big. So 16 is the biggest perfect square I can factor out of this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break the square root of 32 into 16 times 2. Now, the reason I did that is because 16 is a perfect square, so I can take the square root of that and bring it out from underneath the radical. So the square root of 16 is 4. That's going to come out in front. That's going to leave me with this. It's going to leave me with 4. That's the square root of 16. And then I still have the 2 underneath the radical symbol. And I can't simplify this anymore. There's nothing I can do with the 2. And that is the answer. All right. So again, I would encourage you to write down these perfect squares when you're doing radicals. And again, it's not, I have students that say, well, I can't memorize all those. You're not. You're just doing 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared. And then I went all the way up to 11 squared. You might have to go further than that, but hopefully not. All right. So hopefully that helped you out. Keep working hard. You're on your way to mastering the math.